Nvidia's 8.7% surge fuels global market momentum, while strong FII short positions keep the Indian market under pressure. This is your pre-market update from Bajaj Broking, where we bring you the latest market insights to keep you ahead of the curve. Tune in for our evening update for the full market wrap. Market bias remains bearish, with Gift Nifty indicating a flat opening and Nifty likely to trade in the 23,900 to 24,300 range. Nifty fell 0.48% and Sensex 0.70% in the previous session, while FIIs remain bearish, adding 10,271 short contracts and taking the long-short ratio to 0.11. Nifty faces resistance at 24,200 to 24,300 and support at 24,000 to 23,800, while Bank Nifty has resistance at 57,600 to 58,000 and support at 57,500. A break below key supports could accelerate selling, while a sustained move above 24,300/58,000 may trigger short covering. Let's look at the Indian market. Gift Nifty signals a flat opening for the Indian market. Nifty spot in today's session is likely to trade in the range of 23,900 to 24,300. Indian benchmark indices closed near their day's lows as rising crude oil prices in the second half of the session and continued geopolitical concerns weighed on investor sentiment. The market also witnessed elevated intraday volatility due to the monthly Sensex expiry, which kept price action choppy throughout the day and capped any meaningful recovery. At close, the Nifty 50 declined 0.48%, while the Sensex fell 0.70% to settle at 76,933. On the sectoral front, Nifty Pharma emerged as the top-performing sector, attracting defensive buying interest amid the weak market sentiment. On the downside, PSU banks, media, metal, and FMCG remain the key laggards, witnessing broad-based selling pressure during the session. The broader market showed relatively better resilience than the benchmark indices. The Nifty Midcap 100 and Nifty Small Cap 100 ended largely flat, indicating selective buying at lower levels despite weakness in large-cap stocks. Index formed a bearish candle with a lower high and a lower low, signaling continuation of the corrective decline for the second session in a row. The index in the process closed below the 50-day EMA. Nifty started the session on a positive note, but failed to move above the 24,300 levels and gave up its intraday gains to close sharply lower around the 24,100 levels. The last 2 weeks' high in the Nifty is placed around the 24,378 levels. Failure to move above the same will keep the immediate bias corrective, with key support placed at 24,000 to 23,800 levels being the confluence of the trendline support joining the last 4 months' lows, previous major gap area, and the 61.8% retracement of the previous up move from 23,606 to 24,774. Overall, the index is expected to extend the recent consolidation and trade in the broad range of 23,800 to 24,600 in the coming sessions. For Nifty, resistance is placed at 24,200 and 24,300, while support stands at 24,025 and 23,910. For Bank Nifty, resistance is at 57,790 and 58,000, with support at 57,230 and 57,000. Let's look at the global and Asian markets. Nvidia's strong results lifted the S&P 500 technology sector 3.4%, with Nvidia shares gaining 8.7%. US markets closed higher, led by the Nasdaq plus 1.57% to 26,541.35 and S&P 500 plus 0.72% to 7,130.99, while the VIX fell 4.73% to 14.50. Focus remains on Middle Eastern energy logistics and upcoming central bank commentary from the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium. Asian markets were mixed on Friday, with Nikkei 225 rising 0.74% to 66,622.87 and S&P/ASX 200 gaining 0.32% to 9,067.4, while KOSPI declined 0.84% to 6,854.05. We encourage you to check out the description below for a more in-depth analysis of the option chain, including detailed data and insights. We cover the latest trends, key levels, and options activity to help you stay updated on market movements and make informed decisions. Be sure to visit for all the latest information and expert analysis. Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Please read all documents carefully before investing.